everyone, I'm Chuyan Li. Today I'm here to introduce about my recent work, which is the power quality improvement in DC distribution system. First, allow me to introduce my research question, which is control of output voltage ripple to improve the power quality in this DC distribution system. And the content of this PowerPoint is first is the voltage drop, what is a voltage drop, and what is a voltage ripple. And the second is potential harm of it. The third part of it is the control method, and then we make the conclusion. So, at the very beginning of the PowerPoint, we have to define what is a voltage ripple. Actually, a voltage ripple is the voltage fluctuations in a very short period. It could be just several milliseconds or several minutes, or even be several tens of minutes. But however, this fluctuation is not what we desired, especially in carrying out the power system. And this picture showed the very vivid of the voltage drop, which is a kind of the voltage ripple. This second in the red curve shows the voltage drop, and we could see the time during this period is very small, could be just tens of milliseconds. And now we look at its potential harm. The first one is increasing the equivalent power source resistance. Generally, the power equivalent resistance won't vary with the voltage ripple, but in some very small capacity power resources, it could change, and it could change unlinearly. And that's what we try to avoid. And the second potential harm is the decreased equipment service life. Due to the voltage fluctuations, sometimes the voltage could go up above the desired value very much, and that could cause the overheat of the equipment, and that will decrease the equipment service life very much. And the third potential harm is the decrease of system power efficiency, because the power delivered into the power system is based on the RMS value of the voltage. If there is a lot of ripples and harmonics, the power RMS value will be very high, but actually the energy delivered by this is not much as we desired. The last potential harm is the function failure of electronic devices. Sometimes the voltage goes below to design value, and that would cause some electronic devices failure, like computers, like mobile phones, and especially for some very sensitive equipment. And next, we are going to find how to eliminate the voltage ripple. But first of all, we're going to find where that the voltage fluctuations come from. Basically, it can be divided into two categories. The first one is from the power source. This is because the existence of the switching devices, power switching devices like transistors, diodes, resistors, and the second part is from the load side, like electronic devices, like mobile phones, like battery chargers. And next is, in this part, we're going to introduce about the voltage control method. Generally, it can be divided into two categories. The first one is we make use of active components like we injecting the ripple voltage into the output terminals, and that would compensate the voltage fluctuations. The second method is to make use of passive way, which is capacitors and inductors to inhibit the voltage fluctuations. To be specifically, there are three existing methods to eliminate voltage ripple. The first one is harmonic injection, which is injection the voltage ripple or high frequency harmonics into the voltage terminals. And the second one is energy tank. We make use of energy tank to store the energy when it is over what we desired, and the voltage tank will release energy when it goes to below the desired value. The third approach is make use of active compensator. The third approach has the same working principles with the first methods. In general, the best solution is make use of the energy tank. In this image, the voltage eliminator is connected across the load, which can considerably reduce the voltage ripple. And the eliminator is basically consists of DC converters and capacitors. The use of capacitors is to store the fluctuation energy, and the DC converters here, there are two DC converters. They're connected in opposite bipolaries. They are connected in opposite polarities, and this is based on the principle of absorbing fluctuation energy and releasing of fluctuation energy. When the voltage value is much higher than desired, and the energy will go through the buck converter and stored in the capacitors. But when the voltage value is lower than desired, those energies stored in the capacitors will release and goes into the power net to compensate the voltage. Generally, the focus of this research is to find out a proper method to improve voltage quality by eliminating the voltage ripple component. But due to the existing methods, they all have varieties of eliminations. So improved approach has been proposed by analyzing and comparing existing methods, and the result has demonstrated the voltage ripple can be reduced considerably by these methods. But however, there are still limitations of these methods, like the value of the capacitors, the connection point, and even the sensitivity of electronic devices. All could be the drawbacks of these methods. So further research and extensive works can be conducted around these topics to make this approach better. Okay, that's all of this presentation. Thank you.